Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Joe Knows the 2021 NFL Draft Class. And right now, we are covering your Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations, Buccaneers. You had a great season. You went out there last year. You got the GOAT in Brady. You got probably the GOAT tight end in Gronk. And, shout out to JPP, my boy, JPP. I'm a Giants fan myself. I was happy when the Giants were starting to rebuild a few years ago, and they were unloading all the big contracts they had. Unfortunately, that included JPP, but I understood it too. By the time the Giants were going to be good to compete, he was definitely going to be on the older side, and they were trying to save some money there for future expenditures. And I was glad when he went back home to Florida, and I'm glad that he got a second ring with you guys, the Bucks. I'm really happy for all of you. Had a great season. It's a good fan base down there, Tampa Bay. Congratulations, man. You won your second Super Bowl in your second Super Bowl appearance. It was a great accomplishment, everyone. I'm really excited for you guys. Hey, let's move on to the content. And before we do that, real quick, where you can find the show, we just launched our own new website on August 1st at toiletstitles.com, where we have all of our videos, articles, and tons of fantasy football content and NFL content as well. And check it out. It's a lot of fun. We made it really nice for you. We're all really proud of it, and I think you'll really enjoy it too. Where can you find the show? Apple Podcast, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, and Facebook, where we have two pages, Toilets to Titles, as well as When a Family Breaks, which is our Facebook page that's dedicated to the trading of sports memorabilia. So check it out. A lot of fun, really cool. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Give us that 5-star Apple review. All those things help us out a lot. We love the positive feedback. And you know what? Even negative feedback is good for us because it helps us, plan ahead better, and should give you better content, and also drives up our metrics anyway. So it's all good. And last but not least, you can go to patreon.com/toilets-to-titles to learn how you can further support this show. Now, moving on to our content, the Buccaneers 2021 NFL Draft Class. You guys had 7 picks overall. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of the draft classes I was reviewing this year had like 9 picks, 10 picks, 11 picks. You had 7. Thank you for taking it easy. Thank you for taking it easy on me. I really appreciate it. So you had 7 picks overall, including 2 7th-round picks. I look for a theme. I try to look for a theme with every team's draft class. And some teams focus on defense, some on offensive line, just as examples. You guys, you were taking talent all over the place, which is fine, which is totally cool. So I didn't really seem like a theme. I didn't really see like a theme there, like a focus in one particular area. So you just took talent where you found it, where you needed it, and I thought you guys had a really, really nice draft class. Okay, move on to your first pick overall, your first pick, the 32nd pick overall in the first round, Joe Tryon, defensive end out of Washington. I love this guy. I really do. This guy is a true defensive end. He's going to be solid for you. He's going to be, your defensive end for like the next 10, 12 years. This guy's going to be really good. 6'5", 259 pounds. This guy does what a DE is supposed to do. He gets to the QB and he plays the run well. Can't ask for anything more than that because that's what a defensive end is supposed to do. He's got a quick first step. He's long arms. He's got leverage and he's got strength. And the guy's got a good motor too. He's really solid. So you took this guy with the last pick in the first round, and I'll tell you, I thought you got a heck of a player. I think you got a future leader on your defense, a future very good producer for your defense over the long term. And this guy, again, as I say in the blue bar, he's everything you want in a defensive end. Congratulations, Buccaneers. I think you did really well with that pick there. I like him a lot. Okay, second pick for your team, the 32nd pick overall, the second round, quarterback out of Florida, Kyle Trask. Wow, this guy had a fantastic 2020 season. It was funny. I'd been watching film. I watched film on him from 2019, and man, his arm looked weak. Like it was just like a 20-yard pass. It looked like once he launched it, it's like you could have made a sandwich, ate the sandwich, come back, and the ball would then be getting in his receiver's hands. It seemed like it took forever to get to his receiver. Not in 2020. The guy's arm had much more action on it. His passes had much more action on them. He had a phenomenal season in 2020. And I thought this was a perfect spot for him. This guy also he's an accurate quarterback. This guy had, as I say in the blue bar, he had a 5-to-1 TD to interception ratio. He's accurate. He's got really nice feel in the pocket. He knows when that pressure is coming, and he knows when it's time to scramble. He's not a fast quarterback, but he is pretty good scrambler for a guy who's not fast. I got to say, he's a pretty good scrambler in the pocket. And you give this guy an offensive line, you give him weapons, he can tear a D apart, and he can actually scramble to find the time to do that. So this guy, I like this pick. This is perfect for you actually in the second round because listen, Brady may very well play until he's 50 years old. Who knows? I don't know, but you know what? You got really good value with this quarterback at the back end of the second round. I think you got yourself a quarterback who you could legitimately grow and develop into being your future starting quarterback once Brady retires, if he ever retires. But he definitely has that ceiling. He definitely, I certainly didn't think he was a first round pick who fell to the second round, but I think in the second round, especially the back end of the second round, I thought this was a very worthy gamble. I thought it was a great pick for you guys, a great investment in your possible future franchise quarterback. I think he's got that potential. And moving on to your third pick, it was the 32nd pick overall in the third round. You got offensive tackle out of Notre Dame, Robert HAINSEY. Now this guy's 6'5", 306 pounds, ideal size, frame, height for an offensive tackle. This guy was also a two-time team captain at Notre Dame. Very impressive, and especially at Notre Dame, they don't really take clowns into their program. So you're a captain at Notre Dame. I think that's impressive, and he did that twice. He played very well at Notre Dame as a tackle, but he's got shorter arms, and usually guys tackle with short arms. Once they come into the NFL, they're being transitioned over to guard. I think this guy's got everything you need to be an exceptional guard in the NFL. And you know what? I think he will be one of your starting guards. If not this year, then next year. I think he is going to. I have no doubt he'll be a starting guard for you. And you know what? Maybe he competes at right tackle or something. I don't know. And but if not, he can offer you depth at tackle at least while he's starting at guard. So you can't lose. I think it's great. And I love offensive line players at Notre Dame. To me, they're becoming like an offensive line factory, just like LSU is a wide receiver factory. Notre Dame is they've become over the past like 5 years. I'd say like you can count when you draft an offensive lineman, depending upon the round, depending upon the value. Of course, they're not all as good as each other. You draft an offensive lineman out of Notre Dame, I think you're getting a prospect, one that might be an excellent prospect, or one that could be a prospect who just offers you good depth down the road. But again, we all need those types of players. We need excellent players and we need depth players. That's how you build a team. Now, you're not going to have a team of Pro Bowlers. So I think this guy was a really good pick in the third round. And you know what, man, I think you did so well with all the picks that you had. And moving on to the next pick, 24th pick overall in the fourth round, JAELEN DARDEN, wide receiver out of North Texas. This guy is interesting. This is a guy who dominated in his small school conference, and he's only 5'8", 174 pounds. But this guy is dangerous in the slot. He's got great speed, and as I say here in the blue bar, seriously, he gets an open patch of field. This guy hauls ass. You better catch him because if you don't catch him quick, you might not catch him at all. He hauls ass. So keep an eye on this guy. He's small, but this guy, I'll tell you, if he develops his route running, this guy could really wind up being something pretty special. So just keep an eye on him. He's going to need time to develop. He's coming from a small school, but I think his upside, his potential, his ceiling is very scary. So keep an eye on this guy, okay? And then moving on to your fifth pick, the 32nd overall pick in that round. In the fifth round, you got KJ Britt. Nice pick. This is a solid inside linebacker. He is an inside linebacker that any team should want. I don't know if he's ever going to develop into being a three-down linebacker. He might not be, but you know what? On those running downs, this guy is a guy you want out there because this dude hits hard. He is a fearless run defender. He runs and plays with violence. So when he's coming at you, he is coming at you to hurt you. I'm not saying with a cheap hit, nothing like that. It's that he hits hard. He's a solidly built dude too. So he can run people over. He can run people through people if he needs to in order to get to a running back. He can like run through a tight end, pretty much with ease. It's not a problem. And but if this guy can learn to cover, he will be. If he can learn to cover decently, he will wind up being a three-down inside linebacker. This guy's got potential to be a starting inside linebacker for you, starting three-down inside linebacker. I have no doubt. I'm not saying he will, but I think he's got that is a serious ceiling for him. that he can be a 3-down inside linebacker for you. Lots of potential with KJ Britt. I love this in the 5th round. Even if he's a 2-down run stuffer, you know what? You need him. You need those guys. Not everyone's going to be a 3-down player. And this guy, man, he brings what you want in a run defender from the inside linebacker position. And anyway, but moving on. Okay, so he had 2 picks in the 7th round. This was the first one. It was the 24th pick overall in the 7th round. Chris Wilcox, cornerback out of BYU. I'll tell you, BYU is pumping out more and more talent for the NFL every single year. Now I noticed quite a few BYU players in this year's draft class. 6'2", 198 pounds. That is a nice size for cornerback. He's got very good speed. He's got nice speed, size, and length combo. He's got what you want in a cornerback. He projects as a press man, which I like. I like guys. I like cornerbacks who play one-on-one. You put him on an island with a wide receiver. That's the type of cornerback that I like. The type of secondary defense I like to see. And he's willing. He's not a great tackler, but he's a willing tackler in the run game, that is. So, yeah, I think this guy's got some serious potential here. Again, when I say serious potential, I'm not trying to say all these guys are actually going to be, starters or Pro Bowlers, but I think he's got serious potential to be a good depth player at the very least. And he could wind up being more than that. He's got the intangibles. He's got the speed, size, length. This guy is, you starting off with that, you can be taught to do some other key things that you need to learn how to become a well-rounded NFL player. But you've got the intangibles, the stuff you can't teach. That's a great building block. That's where you want to start from. Give this guy time. He can wind up being a little more special than you would think from a 7th round pick. Okay, and then your last pick, the 32nd pick overall in the 7th round, Grant Stewart, outside linebacker out of Houston. Okay, this guy's 6 foot. He's 225 pounds. For a linebacker that's small, but this guy has a motor. He doesn't stop. He's a smaller guy, much bigger than me, but for a linebacker, he's a smaller guy that doesn't stop. This guy's got a motor. I watched some YouTube video on him. Pretty fun to watch this guy play. I'll tell you, he's got game. This guy, Grant Stewart, I like him. He plays with speed, and he is a good tackler, and he's a good run defender. So who knows? Maybe he learns how to, cover in the pass game, and maybe he becomes something better than just like a backup. I think this guy's got, his size is, could be a limitation. A lot of times it is, but some guys, they learned all the right things, and if they have the heart, they can wind up playing a lot bigger than their size. And Grant Stewart could be like that. So I'm not saying count on him to be a 3-down starter, but you know what? I like those guys who just give it their all. I really do. And if this guy's a student of the game, he could wind up being a lot better than a late 7th round pick. I'll tell you. So overall, I was really impressed with your class. You're drafting at the back end of every single round, and I think you made all of those picks count. Buccaneers, you've had a lot of, like, your past 5 draft classes have been really well. It wasn't just Brady and Gronk, and Antonio Brown that those guys brought you across the finish line, and those are great players. But really, for the past 5 years now, you yourself through your draft classes have been drafting and developing really good players, man. Even last year's draft class was excellent that you had. So you're doing it right. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are going to be competitive for a long time. Hey, and if out of the blue, if Brady decides to retire after this season, you never know. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen. But if he were, Kyle Trask might be that guy. I'm not saying count on it. I'm not saying go get your Trask jerseys just yet. But I think it's a realistic possibility. He's learning behind a great quarterback. He's got a good head coach in Bruce Arians. Your coaching staff, they know what they're doing. That's a good place to be in, and that's a good place to learn as a backup quarterback. Just a young guy right now. That's perfect. Anyway, that wraps it up for the review. But a few things. Don't forget, please, Twitter handles at the bottom. It's Twitter handles for me and all my teammates here at Toilets and Titles. There's 12 of us now. We're bringing on more and more people so we can give you more and more content, both on video and both in articles. And so check them all out. They're a great bunch of guys to follow on Twitter, and we're a lot of fun. It's a really great team. It's an honor to be with these guys. And last but not least, just another reminder: please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and give us that 5-star Apple review. It helps us out so much. But anyway, guys, that's it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'll be back soon enough with another video. I love doing this series. I love reviewing all the draft classes for all 32 teams in the league. It's been fantastic, and everyone's done really, really well. Buccaneers, congratulations NFL fans, I'll catch you soon with another video. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.